Elf Village Battle 2. Reincarnated People's residential area. So this is where they're at. With the barrier suddenly break? What are you dreaming? Come on, let's go. Several hours before the barrier breaks. In the residential area of the reincarnated people, the two former adventurers advanced the preparations for departure. Taigawa Kunihiko and Kushitani Asaka. Of course, there's a name in this world, but Kunihiko and Asaka call each other by their previous lives' names. This is because they're used to that. Both have the parents of a certain mercenary group, although it seems that they stay at a place that settled down there to some extent when the both of them are babies. The both of them came to be able to walk when they moved from place to place. If there's a war, the mercenary group will go there. If there's a request of escort, they will follow. If the monster appears, they will go exterminated. Because they traveled around the various places, they end up marching the continent without the whereabouts of being pinpointed by the elves. Being a reincarnated people was one of the causes that they can walk earlier than normal children. Although both of them were childhood friends in the previous life, they grew up as childhood friends even in this world. It was already at the level that they looked like a family, and it was natural to be close to each other for both of them. Because of that, when Kunihiko said, "I will become an adventurer," and rushed out of the mercenary group, Asaka follows him afterwards like it's natural. Like that, both of them become adventurers, and they move from place to place again. During that time, they were excellent adventurers, and both of them attracted attention as the existences surpassed the others among the young people. Because of the attention, it can be said that they are in this place now. The obtained fame flows to the elves as it is, and the both of them end up being brought into the same place as the other reincarnated people like this. When they were brought, they were pleased with the reunion with the old friends who met after a long time. However, after that, they asked what kind of life in the elf village, and the flippant feelings sank in an instant. They were made to shrink back in the situation like being kept until death. Kunihiko has begun to get tired of the life without dream and romance immediately. On the other hand, Asaka thought this life is acceptable. Although she was pulled by the unprecedented Kunihiko, Asaka is a relatively normal girl. The life of the adventurer was dangerous, and as for Asaka, who is stability-oriented, a modest life seems to suit her even if there was neither dream nor romance. Starting with chairperson Kudo, the reincarnated people who were in the elf village seem to be dissatisfied with the life here. Asaka also understands the reason well after she's actually started living. Get up early in the morning, work and sleep at night. Life without pleasure. In addition, she perceived that the elves monitored secretly. It was the honest impression of Asaka that it's inevitable that the stress will be accumulated. However, judging from Asaka, who knows the danger on the outside, it was not unendurable. Asaka, who traveled around various places, possessing the thing called adaptability without choice. If she don't have it, she won't survive, and even if she has it, she can die easily if she's unlucky. That's the outside, or rather, it's the common sense in this world. Judging from Asaka, the elf village where safety is guaranteed can't be considered as a terrible environment. Even if that's said, most of the people here don't know the outside, in fact including Kudo. Although speaking of the outside dangers in the present life indirectly, their dissatisfaction was not cancelled. She sensed that Sensei is hiding something, and her actions are all for the former students. Asuka understood it because she lived as an outlaw adventurer for a long time, and the ability to judge a person was developed. But nevertheless, because she felt that following up the abducted people is wrong, she leaves it as is. Asuka has the peace at any price principle, unlike Kunihiko. On the other hand, Kunihiko doesn't hide his true intentions. He says the things as he thought, and says the things as he heard. If it's a boy, the word adventure is an attractive word by all means, and it was a natural flow to hear it from Kunihiko, who has real experience. And Kunihiko talked about the previous adventures as he was asked, the first time defeating a monster, level up. Like that, the boys who listened attentively to the adventure story swung from joy to sorrow. Although most boys turned an admired look to Kunihiko, who's realizing the man's dream, there were those who understood the outside severely after hearing Kunihiko's story. Both of them entered the elf village, gave influence to the other reincarnated people for good and bad. And it shook. Do you demand the safe present life or the dangerous freedom? Of course, it's not a problem that can be solved at once, but the time when such choice is done may come someday. They were chased by the daily life without being at a loss. And the elf village was on the verge of danger without being able to decide it and the power to take actions. I begged you, however, don't act recklessly. The person to participate in the interception war was given to both Kunihiko and Asuka, who had the power to fight. All the reincarnated people who remain see off the two people. Kudo sends a word of encouragement representing everyone. Yeah, wait with the intention to board a large ship. Kunihiko laughs carefully and changes his eyes to cold at the next moment. So, Ogi, will you tell me your real intention that you tried to serve poison to us before we leave? The glances turn to Ogiwara, who is in charge of cooking all at once. Ogiwara receives the glances and can only be flustered. What? Did he actually try to poison them? What? What? Alright, I don't know.